It's a weekend-long event. We have free camping, free food, beer from Ninkasi. All of our supporters pitch in to really make this thing happen. We got sponsors like Next Adventure, Alder Creek, Kokatat, StallQuest. I mean, there's a huge list, and it's these guys that make this happen.
This creeking competition is by far one of probably the best race that I've ever been involved with. I've done races all over, and this is so well put together. The organizers are amazing, they're on it.
My name's Taylor Berman, and I've been coming to the Northwest Creeking competition for the last decade. I actually just officially retired from kayaking, but I love this event so much that well, I had to come back.
Today, we're here at Sunset Falls Campground. We are racing on the East Fork of the Lewis River. We're racing kayaks, rafts, inflatable kayaks, men's and women's, pros and experts. Let's see what else we got. Longboats, short boats, and single timed heats and mass starts. It's very exciting. This course is a great course. You got a nice waterfall, you got a tight gorge with some good class 4. It's very exhilarating, very tiring, and all in all for me, it's just very fun.
We went over the waterfall, we had a good line, it was a lot of fun. A lot of the boats had good lines on Sunset Falls today.
It was fun. The race was good. Went over Sunset Falls. Nice line. The rest of the race went pretty well, but took a swam at one of the last rapids.
The waterfall's here. There's a gorge downstream. My understanding is that it's been taking people to task this time. We down at the finish line saw several boats finish without people in them.
I just happened to flip over, and when I was about to flip over, just landed into the rock shelf, which is, unfortunate, but it happens. It's part of the sport. Got a nice goose egg on my chin and bumped my shoulder a little bit, but like I said, that's part of the sport.
We didn't have great lines down below, so unfortunately it wasn't our best day paddling, but it was a lot of fun and hope to come back next year.
The water levels this weekend are pretty good. They're medium to medium high.
Yeah, conditions right now for the East Fork Lewis are great. We've never really been out here, so as a bunch of Idaho boys, we're stoked. Everything is looking really good. And yesterday we went and paddled Canyon Creek, which is going to be the race tomorrow. And all the locals say it's a pretty stout flow, but as usual, it's good times, smiles, and great water. Oregon's got the goods, and Washington has definitely got the goods.
Tomorrow we'll be racing on Canyon Creek, which is very close to here, a little bit harder course. A little more elite kayakers racing that course, and should be very exciting.
Canyon Creek is just one of these beautiful runs that you have to do. If you're a class 4 or 5 kayaker, it's got to be on your list.
The reason I and most of the top competitors here come out to the Northwest Creeking Comp is not for today's event, it's for tomorrow, and that's Canyon Creek. It's the extreme race. It's a fantastic course, it's challenging. There's a lot of different places that you could lose the race. There's a 15-foot waterfall that inevitably you see somebody get stuffed into, having had a bad line, and that's what we're all looking forward to.
I'm coming fresh off of a tour we call it Tour de Sueños, or the Tour of Dreams, and spend a lot of time in southern Idaho on the Middle Fork salmon in the summer of 2011. After that got over, a bunch of guys from Corvallis, Portland, Pendleton, Idaho, all set off for Ecuador. We were in Ecuador for about a month, and then we went to Peru for about another month. And then those boys all left, and I soloed down to Chile. And I was in Fruitalafu for about 4 months. And now I'm just coming back, trying to stay strong for paddling. And my heart has definitely been pulling me towards the Northwest here. So Pacific Northwest is exactly where I want to be right now to continue that tour.
My favorite thing about kayaking is just always the unknown and not knowing what the end outcome is going to be. And just feeling that adrenaline and that feeling as you take every stroke and going over waterfalls and just feeling the movement of the water is just awesome.
Favorite thing about kayaking is just just the wilderness. You get to come out here and just experience like the wilderness that you would normally not be able to see in just normal day life.
It's definitely the camaraderie. It's definitely being on the river with people that you trust and you really care about, and that you know that you can depend upon. So you get a beautiful sunny day like what we had this year, and you're just hanging out on the side of the river, and sometimes my mind goes back to how the sport started, you know, a bunch of guys hanging out on the side of the river and just telling stories, and the camaraderie is definitely the most important thing.
At the end of the day, you know that if something goes wrong, you need to be there for your friends or vice versa. So there's a nice balance between being physically pushed, the mental aspect of knowing that if you make a mistake, the consequences can be quite severe, and then the social aspect of knowing that you're out there with a lot of your best friends. You put all that together, and you know that's why I kayak.
The reason I guess we're here is to just enjoy the culture and the people, and come out here and just play on the water with a lot of good people and see how we do.
When I got into the sport of kayaking, I started focusing on the extreme end of the sport, and after setting 3 world records, I moved on to freestyle, and after being ranked #1 in the world, I moved on to extreme racing, and after having an undefeated season and having won 80% of my races in the last 5 years, I decided I needed a new challenge, and well, I wasn't able to come up with one, so that's when I decided it was time to call it a career. But it's interesting to reflect back on this event because I was just starting to make a name for myself coming to this event.
Well, every year we take pride in feeding the whole lot of the people who come. This year, my business partner Brian Knutson really stepped it up. Tri-tip, pork loin, so absolutely a feast, and no one went away hungry.
The food was fantastic. Last year was, you know, good old hamburgers and hot dogs. This year they stepped it up, got pork, chicken, a lot of good stuff.
The 2012 food is far superior to any meal we've had at the Northwest Creeking Comp over the last decade.
So tonight we're cooking up some pork and veggies and rice. We've got a whole lot of Ninkasi beer, and it's going to be delicious.
But Ninkasi is supporting this, and we have big barbecues coming out, and huge Dutch ovens and big roasts, and I know that a lot of hungry kayakers are going to be excited tonight to dig out on some food and share stories of the day. So this is one of our favorite parts. The river's good, but the barbecues are the best, for sure.
I'm excited about the food. Next Adventure always does a great job hooking us up. They also feed everybody at one of the events we coordinate. They've been extremely supportive over the years for all whitewater events in general.
Next Adventure is probably the biggest single supporter of the Northwest Creek Comp. And as you can see, they rolled out their barbecue setup and they're cooking for everybody, and there's a bunch of sweet gear that they're giving away in the raffle.
It's really nice to see local companies get behind local events. I'd like to thank Next Adventure for getting behind this event like they have year after year.
I'd have to say Next Adventure is a huge part of the success of the kayaking community here in Portland.
Next Adventure is a big part of that. They've stuck with the smaller races in this series when things weren't always great. The consistency they provided to the whitewater community the last 10 years is why we're where we're at today. Just having a lot of fun and getting great turnouts.
Next Adventure is a really good place to get started. Several of my instructors when I started out kayaking came from there, and so they're a very nice group. Get good deals and cheap stuff from there.
You know, as the premier sponsor, we certainly try to take on the bulk of a lot of the responsibility, but I can't say enough about the other sponsors. I mean, the other shops, Alder Creek is here. These guys, they support the community all year long. We've got Ninkasi beer. Great sponsor. It's always great to have a beer sponsor. And then the vendors that we do business with, the Stolquist and the Level 6 and the Kokatat. Having all of these vendors come and support an event like this really contributes to the feeling of community. So I just want to put a shout out to those guys and say thanks.
I think kayaking is growing bigger and bigger, and as the evolution continues, you're going to start seeing bigger events like this, more and more supporters out of each community, and you can really see how important this recreation is to not only the community around the area, but also for the people that are enjoying it here as well. So beautiful, and I'm really excited to be here in the Pacific Northwest.